Cool. I like this. Let's start now. Sweet. Welcome everybody to the 15th day of ACYC. Congratulations. You're either not a reflector currently, or you've been reflecting anywhere between 1 and 15 days. So welcome. Happy to have everybody here. Today we're going to do a quick little 15-minute progress space and then end it with 15 minutes of questions. So if anybody has any questions that they can think of, that you'd like to ask, think of them now, and we'll bring you up on during the second half of this space. I think everybody's seen it. If you're in our Discord so far, first off, if you're not in our Discord, go to the ACYC Capital Twitter page and click on our Discord link. Join that. It's super fun, super engaging. That's the best place to reach any of the advisors or team members, or just bond with the community. So yeah, like I was saying, if you are a part of the ACYC Discord, you've seen that we have officially launched our new logo. We had the outline of the ACYC logo on the Twitter earlier, but now we've incorporated the background and the official colors. So that's all super exciting. And if you go to the acy.capital site, acy.capital, you'll see all of the new colors and links and tabs and everything are officialized. And the coolest part about this is if you're here with me now on the site acy.capital, you'll see the top right has the dashboard, but also has the little moon icon. Click on the moon, it'll take you to the night mode. Personally, that's what I always go to, from the get-go. And then wanted to talk about the dashboard since we're already here. Recently, we've brought on a community designer for so the person whose logo was picked and just finished up doing the revamps is being brought on as a designer for the dashboard, the website, and everything of that nature. So that'll be super exciting. We're going to implement more going forward of the things he's been working on. Super talented, and like I said, part of the community. So it's cool that we found somebody in-house who is as excited about ACYC as we are. Our CTO, Chief Technical Officer, has assured us that by the end of this week, the dashboard will perform much more smooth. So right now, if you were to input your wallet address to see your reflection, sometimes it's a little buggy, and most times it takes quite a while to load. By the end of the week, he will have that optimized. He's just finished up some things on Pan, but by the end of the week, he'll have that optimized, and everything should load faster, smoother, and look better. And super exciting thing to announce, we are having more transparent monthly reports come through. So we've had a lot of people ask us about, Pam's performance, Dione's performance on everything in general. And, everybody asking that also knows at the same time that it's a tricky subject because we can't announce when Pam enters anything. We can't announce when Dione enters anything. We can't even mention how much they made or when they exited, because all of that can be used to go back and track the wallets that those are operating out of. So what we've decided on is we're going to bring on monthly reports. So at the end of the month, we'll go back and we'll touch on percentage gains, net profits, our biggest winners, stuff of that nature, and we'll try to be as transparent as possible without giving away the sauce. So that's something that is going to be coming soon. So yeah, to revamp our logo and website has just been revamped. Our official logo is out. We've just brought on a community designer, so somebody from our community who has designed the logo and most of the tabs for everything else. Our website will perform much better by the end of this week. Everything will load faster and it should be more accurate. And we will have monthly reports coming very soon. Cool. Is there anything you wanted to add to that, Bogart?
Yeah, I mean, no, just building off of the same thing. Like, of course, we've had conversations with you guys in the Discord and everything about aggregated performance data from our investments, and we're absolutely having that coming. We're going to be doing that, like Nate said, on a monthly basis, kind of like hedge fund style. Obviously, like quarterly doesn't work for something like this because the market moves so fast. Um, but yeah, so that should be coming in, that should be coming in January or so, and we'll have that implemented. I mean, we're going to be working on an entire website redesign from here. So we've already started to integrate, the new logo, as Nate said, but there's going to be a lot of nice changes to bring this from start to finish here, and that will include, that sort of aggregated performance metrics there. So yeah, we're really excited about that. It's sort of we're coinciding our marketing push with this new rebrand with our new logo. So we have some really great announcements coming this week that we're really excited to share with you guys that are going to coincide with that. And we just, yeah, we needed our logo all tied up, all those loose ends tied up with the design to make sure that when we push out what we're pushing out, it's all finalized. So yeah, I mean, that's sort of what's going on. That's the big stuff that I have to touch on.
Cool. So let's move on to the next subject: money, money, money. So far, Pan has performed very well for us. As of recently, the community and I, or mainly the community, has decided that Pan is a female. So she is performing amazingly. Pan is basically what we've been dwindling it down to is hit to miss. So is Pan hitting more than she is missing? And is that number being optimized daily? And the answer to that is yes. But with that, we are feeling very confident to move on to phase two. And phase two has always been known. Phase two will be farming. So farming will start Thursday. Thursday, as in 2 days from today. Uh, we have two farmers that are going to start on Thursday and more coming on board. One of those farmers will focus on medium to high risk farming. So we're talking the degen stuff. The degen plus, the pretty optimized get in and get out. And they'll be using about 20% of the farming funds that we've allocated to them, and the other 80% will go towards stablecoin yield farming and anything incremental. So pretty much the pretty boring stuff that at the end of the month it will accrue to a large number, but it's nothing worth calling home about. And with that being said, I think I've made it public, many times that I'm as invested as anybody. Our whole team's invested. If you look at our payout structure, none of us are making money, and we're all betting on the long term. And to put my money where my mouth is, I will be kickstarting the farming with a personal loan of $300 to $500,000 to our 80% stablecoin incremental farmer. So not to the degen stuff, but I will be throwing in roughly $300 to $500,000 to that uh, in pair with the money that our treasury is going to be allocating to him as well. So I want this to get kickstarted. I want us to get ahead as fast as possible, and in the long term, 300 to 500,000 is not going to be a ton, but for now, it should help him out just a bit. So that's exciting. So to recap, farming starts Thursday, 2 days from now. We're going to do 20% into medium and high risk farming, so the degen stuff plus the get in get out, and 80% of the funds will go towards stablecoin and yield farming of incremental gains. Um, and the difference between the 300 and the 500,000 is right now I'm finishing up closing out another position, so it just depends how much of that I've closed out by then. But for now, it will start out there, and if I'm very impressed with it, I might double down and put up to a mil just to kickstart this, because as I always said, once we get to a $10 million treasury, the difference between 10 million and 11 million won't be much, and this loan is at a 0% interest, so it doesn't hurt, it only helps. And I'm way too busy at the moment to trade on my own. So might as well give it back to the project that we're working on. So that's the money side of things. Then, lastly, marketing. In the last space, we talked about marketing. Marketing was to begin on Monday. We were waiting for our community logo designer to give us the revamped package. He gave us that revamped package today, and we pushed it out as well tonight. So marketing will begin tomorrow. Marketing will begin as planned with our community push efforts that we will outline in the Discord and on Twitter. And it'll also begin in other ways. So we'll make them happen in line, and it'll make more sense as the week goes on. Um, and this will be a very exciting week. This is just the start. As we talked about in the last space, this week's marketing, this week is growing our family. And next week is getting everybody up to board on what we're doing, onboarding that family, relaying the vision, uh, sharing our ideals and everything that we are working towards long term. Because for anybody who has been here since the beginning, or anybody just coming in, our goal is as follows. It is, Pan is our algorithm that snipes new listings and works with a lot of data entry points to decide whether or not to buy a new listing. So even tonight, there were a couple things that did 10 or a lot of X's, and Pan jumped on board. And in the last few days, Pan has not missed. I think she's averaged at least 1 to 250 X's every day. So pretty insane, but that's nothing compared to the grand scheme of things. We have Dione. Dione buys the dip, so Dione tracks tokens, and when tokens dip, 30 to 50% in an hour or two, Dione makes buys, and currently we manually exit. So that's what Dione does, and then everything is to trickle down into our farming and everything farming wise. So every way we make money, even through the cells on our token that go to the treasury, everything is in the accordance of yield farming or stablecoin farming or farming on different chains to then return the profits back to our holders. So we do everything so that we can grow our treasury and use more money for farming. Because at the end of the day, like I've always said, when we have $100 million in our treasury, I expect us to bring in $250,000 to $500,000 a day, and half of that will be used to buy back tokens and spread them out amongst our holders. So every day there will be a manual reflection of $125,000 to $250,000 amongst all of our holders. Super exciting, cool. And if I sound a little bit less energized right now, there was a super load your burrito at my local burrito place, and my stomach is still processing all that. So it's like the Thanksgiving effect where you get a little tired after eating so much. So quick little recap. 'Cause I see we got a lot of people here that might not have been here in the beginning. I'll just do a quick little touch on what we've been talking about in like 30 seconds. One, oh, sorry, looking at the wrong list. Cool. So one, our logo and website revamp. We brought on a designer from the community, the one who created our logo. He's doing amazing. By the end of this week, our website's speed and performance will be greatly increased, and the reflection dashboard should be completely accurate. We'll have more transparency on our earnings and monthly reports to come. So every month we'll do a monthly report. We won't. We don't know exactly how much we're going to share, but we're going to try to. At least outline our profits and our losses. Well, mainly right now, all we have is profits, but we're going to try to outline our profits and maybe even the tokens that we profited from without trying to let anybody track down Pan's wallets. Two, money, money, money. Farming starts Thursday. That's in 2 days. 20% of our farming allocation will be medium and high risk stuff, and 80% will be stables and incremental gains. Super exciting. We have two different people starting for both of those coming Thursday, and then more coming on for different parts in the future. I will personally be loaning $300,000 to $500,000 to kickstart this, and our treasury also has a lot of funds to allocate to these farmers as well. And then marketing. Marketing starts tomorrow. We were going to start marketing on Monday, but we were waiting for the logo and site revamp, which we just finished. And we've got a lot of exciting stuff coming this week and the weeks to follow. And just to build off of everything as well, like super exciting time in this project. I think of us as like a family. So it's we didn't launch with everything completed. We launched with knowing exactly what we were going to do, and I almost think of like we have a lot of people who do things and grind every day to make this happen. And I kind of think of like Bogart as like the mom and me as like the dad, where you're all you know I wouldn't call you sons and daughters, but every night you guys come home to us and we tell you like, hey, our life's going to be great. We've been building this to make our home better. We've got this addition in the backyard. We've been working on it hard. What do you guys want to see happen in the future? Because like we want to build this vision with you. And it's been super exciting because not many projects you're able to talk with the people who are pulling the trigger on stuff. And so, odd analogy, I know, but I feel like we're a family, and it's super exciting that we all get to see this happen from start to finish, because everything that we said we're going to do, we've done, and everything that we've planned at the beginning, we've executed thus far. So yeah, I'm super excited. Even though right now I don't really sound like it, I got a whole baby in my stomach. But enough about me. Enough about us. Let's ask some questions. So at the beginning, said we'd take some community questions. Let's do that for about 15 minutes. If you have any questions, request to speak, and we'll bring you up and answer them to the best of our ability. But yeah, no specifics such as like when did Pan enter and exit today, and things of that nature. If you just you know, let's keep it let's keep it a little open. So if you have any questions, request to speak, and we'll bring you out.
Looks like Buka. I'm gonna take you up first. I saw you first. I'm gonna accept a few more of you while Buka's connecting, but we'll take Buka first. All right. Well, while Buka connects Vineland, you want to, if you're here, go ahead. Yeah, sweet. I hear you. Okay, I hear you enough.
All right, I just got one quick one. Yeah, could
Yeah,
you
sure.
could you this is the first time hearing of it, and I'm super interested. I don't Tell me if it's on the website if you don't want to talk about it and have me waste everybody's time. But just could you let me know about the precise structure of how like Pan exits with like a 500x or whatever, and then that money gets turned into stable coins? Is that like the idea, and then farmed?
Um, not quite. So Pan's enter and exit strategies we can't really get into. But the treasury profits, I guess, is the war chest profits is what we would categorize that as. And what that is 50% of those profits go to buying back ACYC tokens at market. And so that gives you a 10% reflection on every purchase that we do, and that goes to everyone. And then we can actually take all of those tokens that we've purchased at market, and we can manually reflect them in a giant blast to every holder of ACYC. And so we don't do that. We do that incrementally. We do that randomly, and we time that to do it most efficiently, so we can maximize the amount of ACYC we get at market and give back to you guys, and also so we don't get front ran.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and then just in case anybody else asks too, to build off of that. So pretty much any profits that anything makes goes to the treasury. So if Pan makes money, treasury. If Farming makes money, treasury. If Dione makes money, treasury. 50% of all profits from the treasury are used to market buy tokens, and like Bogart said, we manually reflect all of those 50% that we buy. 35% of the profits are put back into the war chest or the treasury to then use for farming or Pan or Dion. And then 15% of those are used to reward the advisors or the operators of those trades. So, just a quick little summary of how that works. Yeah. Um,
Sweet.
Bamba, I saw you request, so I'll bring you up, and then we'll also bring up Chenti. So Bamba, you can go first, and then Chenti, I'm gonna bring you up at the same time. But let's have Bamba go first.
Hey guys, it's Bombay
Yeah,
Bruiser.
welcome, Bamba.
How's it going?
Bombay.
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay. I called Bogart for
All
the
good, all
longest
good,
time.
all good. I just wasn't sure if you were calling on me because I know it's like a book or a bomber, with all our names. Um, so definitely, excited. I kind of listened to you guys the first time last week. Obviously, got right in. Um, pumped to be on board and kind of working my way up into the alpha channel. Hopefully, in a few weeks' time. Just kind of have more of a question, right? Like just when you talk about like some of the mid to high risk like liquidity farming and pooling. Like a perfect example, like today, I'm an early investor in like a similar kind of, call it a high risk kind of a protocol. It's a stable coin, uh, protocol. And I was in the farming and pooling, and of course, everybody knows about the pricing kind of Oracle bug that went on CoinMarketCap, right? Everybody saw that go live. That affected the Oracle that was feeding this protocol, caused a massive exploit opportunity, right? And literally, like all of us lost like 8 to 10%. Luckily, they caught it in time. When you talk about like stuff like that, right? Like how do you kind of, what are some of the risk vectors when you think about doing this at scale through ACYC? Obviously, you guys are doing a ton of due diligence, but like, how do you account for stuff like that? I mean, just such a freak thing that happened today that, caused like real loss to a lot of people. Now it's just kind of part of the crypto game and we move on, and I'm totally still in that protocol. Like it's not going to phase me. But at the same time, like how do you account for, for like the known risks,
Yeah.
the unknown risks, just kind of curious.
Well, so yeah, I think that's like that's where like the whole ethos of ACYC, like using like many risk adjusted yielding strategies to like have a curated, diversified portfolio that's resilient in, against like black swan events like that. So, certain we'll have certain amounts of, our investments allocated in certain places, and obviously flash crashes can happen, crazy events can happen. You can have a wild coin,
Mm-hmm.
a coin market cap thing like that. But we're like the benefit of all of our like risk adjusted strategies is that those are all like essentially it's all a giant hedge against that kind of stuff. So like, where we might lose money one place, we'll be earning elsewhere,
Right.
and if the market goes sideways, we're gaining here. So it, obviously it's
Okay.
just about having a diversified portfolio that can be resilient in any situation like
I
that.
mean, I don't have to share any specifics, but were we affected in like any of the protocols, any of the investments that we were in? Did like today's kind of fiasco like affect us at all, or is it not even a blip?
No,
Okay, that's great.
I won't get into too much details, but no.
Okay, well, no, and
Yeah.
all I wanted to
And
hear. That's great. That's great.
yeah. And
Yeah.
farming starts Thursdays as well. So
Okay, that's right.
we went, yeah. And then I think since you farm yourself, you kind of know like risk to reward. Like sometimes when you get in a medium to high risk thing, you either expect the moon or you expect a rug.
Yep.
So it's kind of one of those things where you have to, know what you're playing with. So if and like we said earlier, we're going to do about 20% medium to high risk, 80%
Yeah. Kind of
low
weighted.
risk stuff. Yeah, and imagine this too. Like if we have $100 million treasury, and for some reason we had all of that in the most degen thing ever, and it went down 8 to 9%, that would mean we lost $8 to $9 million. But what does that really mean at the end of the
Yep.
day? It doesn't affect our token price. It doesn't affect anything.
Yeah.
We still have a shit ton of money in our treasury, and we definitely the people who are going to be running the medium to high risk stuff know they've been educated how to get in and get out, and you look at the farming, so like sometimes you'll read how everything works and the emission rates, and you'll be like, oh gosh, like this might be a rug, but
Mm-hmm.
if I'm early enough I'll make a ton. So we really don't plan on any operators to sleep in giant positions while in medium to high risk things.
Cool.
But good question.
No,
Super
thanks,
good
man.
question.
And just kind of like along that kind of path as well. Just and sorry, I'm keeping on talking about like risk management and but like one of the things like as far as like how do we capture some of the upside or prepare for the downside, and of course even the market's down, it's opportunity for us to make money, right? So I get that. We go sideways, we make money regardless. Like it's there's always an opportunity somewhere, but like in terms of a more macro level, like what is kind of like do you have a thesis around like currency or treasury backed stable coins versus like a completely decentralized stable coin, like let's say a MakerDAO, right? Like the DAI, right? So, and some of the impending potential kind of government like regulatory, right? Headwinds that we might be facing in the coming year in 2022. And, kind of, do you even have a thesis or a position on it? Or like we just kind of move
Yeah, I think
the way the market
I
moves?
think it just sort of falls into the
Sort of evolving.
same like
Okay.
category of, making sure that we're diversified across enough platforms and to be able to be able to weather, that sort of thing, whether it's regulatory issues or platform issues or anything
Okay.
like that. It's all about risk adjusted yielding strategies, so that in any market, any conditions, we can totally yield.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you for the
Well, thanks,
questions,
guys.
Bombay.
Appreciate it.
Cool. So I brought up JPEG. I brought up Chenti. I think I brought up someone else, but they're not showing. So let's start with you, JPEG, and then Chenti, since you cut out. So JPEG first.
Hey, what's up, Nate? Thanks for letting me speak. I just wanted to say I gotta, having followed the coin, the level of the team and advisors behind this coin is not something you see in like any project I've been in so far. In my opinion, I would say it's definitely not priced in the price of ACYC currently. And one other thing that we haven't really spoke on too much about is for the alpha chat for holders of over 200 million coins. We've had a couple of pretty good calls in a short amount of time. We hit Mongoose and Karen, which is going right now, both at around 300K market cap. I think the community alerted. So that's something, also some added value in the community. And everyone on the Discord is way better than any other project I've been in. And
Yo, JPEG, didn't you call Mongoose on our Discord? And wasn't it like 200K market cap?
yeah, I think it was around 280, 300.
Yeah, I remember you coming in pretty convinced that everybody should get in. And next thing we know, at the end of the night, it's at like 40 mil market cap. It just to like reverberate what you've been saying, like our Discord community is insane. Like I've seen zero toxicity through the ups and through the downs, and our alpha chat is developing into something amazing. I know a lot of Discords do have alpha chats, but it's not people coming in shilling coins. Like I've had somebody come in, we've had people come in where they say that this looks like a good buy, and we've hit them with what's your thesis, like what's the bullish thesis, and they've laid it out, and very educated people coming through like, hey, this is why. And I've been convinced to buy some things, and I don't regret that.
I'd say there's a good mix of degeneracy and calculated plays. It's a good mix and it's a lot of fun. But I think that's all I had to add. Thanks for letting me come up.
Yeah, thanks for coming up. It's nice to have community members that familiar faces up here. And then I wanted to like touch on one more thing that you said about like how the advisory, the quality of advisors that we have isn't really priced in, and I agree with that too. But first, we need to get our treasury up a little bit more. Like I always say, I it's our market cap is still in IDO. It's still initial token offering. Like this is still low. Uh, it's never a bad time to buy. And until we get to that $10 million treasury, I won't like push it on anybody. But the moment we get to that 10 million treasury, if we're not already at a 500 mil market cap, then people should be not financial advice, but you can fill in the rest. So let's bring up Chenti. Chenti, welcome.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Is that a uninterested unicorn?
Yep, 100%.
I remember those days. Okay, sweet. What's up, Chenti?
I just had a quick question, and also just wanted to come up and say thanks for bringing me up, and thank you to the team and all your guys' hard work. I know you're probably just grinding 24/7, so I appreciate everything you're doing for the community and the project. I just had a quick two questions. One was with the tokenomics, with the buy tax and sell tax currently, as the treasury kind of gets more funded and kind of as it gets more built up, and Pan and Dione are kind of like doing their own plays and just generating more revenue and bringing that in. Is there any sort of long-term play where you guys see adjusting the tokenomics around that, or is that pretty locked in stone with how you're going to go about that?
Yeah, so I mean, of course, like, we're not a shitcoin, so we didn't renounce our contract, so we can make changes. And like, obviously, as our market cap grows, once we're at a 5 billion market cap, taxes can absolutely be adjusted. But we always just want to make sure that A, like, we're maximizing our returns for the community, and B, like, those decisions are informed by that community. So if we were to ever do something like that would be an all hands on deck. That would be an approach that we would be, of course, willing to take, but it would require, obviously, everybody to be on board with that.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to understand the vision, just kind of get a broader picture of it. So I appreciate that. And then the last question that I had, I've kind of I've been hearing this farming as a service get thrown around in the community. Been seeing it more on my Twitter feed, and just kind of around the space as a whole. And I kind of wondered if anybody could kind of speak more to it. I know everybody's kind of been hyping it up, saying like this is really truly great potential going into 2022. So I would just, for like the average kind of person getting into the space, would love to hear just like a quick little take maybe about that and what you guys see the potential to be in the next year.
Yeah, so like farming as a service is huge, and like really, ACYC is investing as a service. Like we farm, and that's a huge part of what we'll do. But we have tons of risk-adjusted investment strategies to be yielding capital to build that treasury and go back into farming. And so like farming as a service is just yield farming. It's just getting consistent returns, whether it's in lower risk 0.5% to 1% a day. I mean, you're talking about 3,800% compounded on something like that. And so like, there's a lot of complexity to those systems, and like having, a variety of farmers on board and advisors informing those people will allow us to, maximize our returns and just give that back to our holders in the reflections that we get from purchases and in the manual reflections. So it's like, it sort of removes all of the work from, you guys from the community, and on the back end, we're the ones grinding away, investing, building the treasury, and just giving those returns back to you. And so as a whole, I think, the space is going to be really huge. It's like we said, I think farming as a service is a massive, massive ecosystem. And we're going to just see it explode. Right now, we're really happy to be like the pioneers of that. And we're going to be, maintaining the headwinds that are taking us forward. As Nate said, we're embarking on that journey of farming this Thursday. And it's only going to, compound and get greater. And so into next year, we expect this market to be absolutely massive, and we will be, we will remain the leaders of that. So yeah, that's sort of what I would say to summarize it.
All right, perfect. Thank you for your take, and thank you for bringing me up here today. I appreciate it. I'll step down as well to give somebody else a spot.
Thank you so much for your questions and being a part of the community. We appreciate it.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, I also know a bunch of new faces in here. Just wanted to mention one thing too, why farming as a service is such like a big thing. Is one, it takes a lot of research and time to like get accustomed. If you're going to do the medium to high risk farming, which is pretty much degen, meme coin, shitcoin trading, you're going to lose a lot of money first before you make any, and you're going to learn a lot of hard lessons and probably be demotivated from continuing. But the people who like know what they're doing, they know what risk to reward is. They know that if they expect to, if they expect to do high risk stuff, they're going to get completely rugged 3 times and make giant wins that fourth. So, it's something where if you know nothing about farming, the medium to high risk stuff is going to put you on your ass so much that you're going to be unmotivated to do it. But that's not even the big talking point. The big talking point is like yield farming. So if you're yield farming stable coins, which is like providing liquidity, people who know how to like provide liquidity smart, how to do tight ranges, how to everything like that, typically they're not multimillionaires. Typically, a lot of people can be super intelligent but be underfunded. I think we all know people who make great trades, who make a lot of ROI, but they're underfunded, and so we incentivize people who know how to do that with our funding, so they can scale up. Instead of using their 500K for liquidity providing, they can use 5 mil from us, and on top of theirs. So we're basically contracting them to come in and make money for our holders while making themselves more than they would originally. And like Boggart said, like this is all risk-adjusted trading strategies. We're going to specialize in farming as a service, but come a bear market and we have $100 million treasury, expect that we're going to take community consensuses on whether or not we should buy the dip. And when I say buy the dip, I don't mean buy Tron. I don't mean buy some under 200 market cap tokens. I mean, like, are we going to allocate this percentage of our portfolio to buying some Bitcoin right here and maybe some Ethereum? And we're not going to sell at a minus 10%. We're just going to keep accumulating. And then on the way up, we'll take more community consensus votes on should we realize that profit and then buy tokens with that profit and then distribute them to the community. So even though right now we're going to specialize in farming as a service, our range and how broad this can get is pretty insane. But for now, $100 million treasury is where we're headed, and farming as a service is what we're going to specialize in until it's not a bubble. So I don't really see us not farming as a service, but in the future, if something else comes up, we could pivot and we could do Pan, we could do Dione, and we could, have farming as a service on the side while we look at something else. So, uh, great questions from everyone today. I think we should. Wait. I think we have one more speaker up here that didn't get to ask their question. So I think send it. Was that you who just asked, or was that someone else?
Yeah, that was me.
Okay, cool. So we'll just end it right here. That was a good 45-minute space or 30 minutes of active information, and that's how we're gonna. We want to take the community questions, so we're going to try to keep it as precise and consolidated as possible. So if anybody has any more questions, like I said at the beginning of the space, we're active in our Discord. Come ask the questions. Come give ideas and suggestions. Anybody can attest that, if you ask something and tag me, or if you ask something in general, there's a really good chance that you'll find me replying. So quick little recap. We have a lot more listeners here at the end than we did in the beginning. So I'm just going to touch on everything that we talked about in a quick 30 seconds again for the last time. We got a new logo and website revamp. We brought on a community designer, the guy who created the logo, and we implemented his new package into our website and our Twitter. The website will perform much better by the end of the week, and all of the dashboard calculations for reflections should be more accurate and load quicker. We're going to have transparency monthly reports. We don't know exactly what we'll disclose in terms of whether or not we'll mention every single token's entry and exit, but we will mention the profits and we'll mention some of them. And then money. Farming starts Thursday in 2 days from now. 20% of the farming will be medium to high risk, and 80% will be stable yield coin farming. And I'll be personally loaning $300,000 to $500,000 in matching with our treasury to get this kickstarted. And then marketing starts tomorrow. We're just waiting for the logo and site. So marketing will start tomorrow in more ways than one. And it's an exciting week ahead. And as always, if we don't have a space tomorrow, we'll have one the next day. So yeah, we don't look for getting into marketing tomorrow. And if you're not in our Discord, come stop by because it's a super great place to be. And Alpha Channel is locked behind 200 million tokens. I hold a bunch of entry tokens or NFTs into other alpha channels, and I can say for a fact that this one is, one of the top. I'm not going to say it's the top because, that'd be lying, but it is definitely worth it to reflect while you're in this alpha channel, and it's a very tight community, and thus far they've called some insane stuff, and the people that are chilling there are very, very educated with a nice little hint of degen. Sweet. So let's end it here. Thanks for everyone for attending. Thanks for Bogart for coming, as always. And yeah, let's just end it right here.